Hey folks, fWhip here, and welcome to episode 51, comment of the day. Woo, we did it! Another hardcore episode, survived, still alive, still rocking, moving forward in the world, not taking any damage whatsoever. Be sure to leave a like on this if you did enjoy and want to see more of the comment of the day videos. And we're getting pretty far in the book here, so all the way down for the first question. From Purple Tortoise, I love watching people make mountain structures because all the lines and pillars make absolutely no sense to me, and then it gets filled in and you're like, ooh. That honestly is one of my favorite parts about the entire process of building a mountain too, as I get to see it all come together myself. I might have an idea of where my brain thinks the project is going to go when I get started and what I might envision it to be like when I'm beginning all of it, but most of the time the final product is way different from what even I was thinking, and it's really cool to see what I was envisioning originally to where we end up as a final project. As we're starting to bring this mountain project here to a close, the backside really is not what I had imagined at all, but I'm honestly loving it. I think it's almost better than the front side because I really let my brain kind of stew on that for a while before I came back in and tackled it. I definitely needed a big break after doing the front because you don't want to build a mountain in a day. I'll be honest, it's not fun to do that. You need some time in between. I also love the fact that you can't really do it wrong. Terraforming is one of my favorite things to do, as there really is no science behind it. You have some general ideas that you mostly just get through practicing and working through whatever your brain might be thinking of in the moment as you're placing in those stone blocks, dirt blocks, or whatever you're working on. And there's some general fundamentals to be following along with, like once it gets steep enough, you probably don't want to be using dirt. You want to transition into some stone materials, whatever blocks you might be using for that, because you can make an entire dirt mountain and then have like sand around it, and it could be a really cool like brownstone mountain out of it. And that'd be a fun project if anybody's looking for one. But I also really love that I can do these types of projects on live streams. All of the landscaping and terraforming over there is very easy because I can just place in blocks, take some ideas from you all, and we just toss some ideas back and forth. And the shape starts to really come together, and we can see everything coming into a close as we're working all of it, placing every single block down. And then I turn a 3-hour stream into about 30 seconds or less of footage for a video, and seeing that all in a time lapse coming together looks completely different to what we did on stream, seeing it in the first person perspective. And it's just a fun way of seeing it all coming together. So definitely expect a lot more terraforming type projects on live streams in the future. I think it's my favorite way to do them, to be honest. Second question coming in today from KBeer213. I love the style of video so much with you going around and doing little things that just need to be done. Please, please, please do more videos like this in the future. I love doing multiple projects in a single episode, but sometimes I do need to find a way to bring it all back home together. So a big episode like episode 50, just being the 50 hours and doing a bunch of stuff, can work really well, as it's kind of a way to look back on the world and tidy things up a bit before the next world download came out. So if y'all do enjoy those types of episodes, please, please, please let me know. Haha, copied what you did there. And I'll try to build them into the episode plan more often, as I also do enjoy jumping around and doing different things. It works a lot better with my brain, being able to just tackle a little thing and then come back to a bigger thing and then go to a little thing again, and just kind of jumping around. My brain is just like, ooh, look, shiny thing, let's go over there. So sometimes I do prefer that as well, and it just kind of keeps everything moving forward in the different sections of the world. Like that could be a great point to say, let's go back over to New Papyrus and just do a build over there, or jump over somewhere else and do another build there. Now that we have the Nether Hub a lot more fleshed out, it's a lot easier to travel around the world, and the markers are becoming a lot clearer on the Nether roof, which I really do like as well. That all being said, sometimes focusing on a massive project in a single episode is what I gotta do. Like this guy right here that we just did. It's pretty essential to keeping the entire world moving forward, as everything needs to be moving forward at some point. I can't just be doing little projects all the time, as I do need these big ones to really start this next stage or start the project itself. Like all of this coming together here. We had round 1 that was the base, and then I was like, you know what, we're gonna go even bigger. We're gonna I probably 4 times the size of the Nether Hub if you think about all the blocks going in this versus what I had in there. But that one, was all of the farms and everything else throughout here and doing the giant bedrock hole. So the first run might have taken longer purely because of the bedrock circle taking like 2 days IRL, if I remember correctly. Anyways, that being said, it does give me the ability to come back and tinker with things every once in a while and just add a little bit more here and there as we're doing these big massive projects. I'm not always able to 100% complete them after so many hours and so many weeks working on a project. And sometimes there's a few little corners that don't make it on the thumbnail or something. I might just like hide at the end of the video, video editing magic. Then I'm like, wow, it's perfectly done. Just don't look at the back. But that all being said, I'm very down for finding a new balance or a different balance on how we can incorporate more of these little project episodes into here of doing little things. Look at all the hoglins dying over there. I love that farm being so much more built out. Sorry, distraction. It is just absolutely hilarious to watch the constant stream of hoglins falling down. But yes, if you all really want to see a lot more of those little episodes where we just do a little bit here, a little bit there, be sure to let me know down in the comments below, as I very much appreciate the feedback and it can help guide how we're doing things in the future. Comment number 3 coming in from Waretta SL. You should definitely build an arena/sports ground type of place. That was a huge form of public entertainment in the Middle Ages, and I just feel like a huge ruin/overgrown Colosseum style build could work really well. I have, since I started this city project, had the idea of showcasing some sort of festival happening throughout the entire city. So that could definitely feed into some sort of a games happening, as those are typically linked together. But my idea here is, as we have the main street coming down, all of the buildings that we're going to build up, I want to have like tapestries and color and big signs and events and food stalls and stuff along this entire place, just kind of as if the city is celebrating something happening, whatever that might be. I don't know. And the festival is going to last forever because I'm not going to take the decorations down. I think it's going to look really cool. But I do love the idea of including some sort of games building going on. I just need to find a location for it. This area out here is already spoken for. We're going to have an expansion of the city down here, planning for some sort of a palace or school up in this place. And I need to find a flatter lands area to build. I'm thinking a more temporary structure instead of a giant coliseum, like wooden stands, wooden barricades to hold the arena closed and everything like that. And that could maybe be out here, a little out of the city, could make sense. As if they set up the entire space for the festival to celebrate whatever's going on. And it's not like a permanent thing, but that would make it extra special that it is actually happening. Over on the far side of the region, we do have this. If you haven't seen it, this is the horse racetrack, and I love it. This was such a fun build to do. The racetrack goes all the way down around that mountain range and comes back here with a full timing system built into this. And it gave me the excuse to breed the fastest possible horses in Minecraft, 14.2 meters per second. And I think it's technically 14.28. And I'm not sure if these are 0.8 or not, but they're close. They're close enough. And I want to max out the jump eventually. And eventually get a fully maxed out mule, which requires maxing out a donkey too, and then breeding them together to hopefully get the maxed out mule. But yeah, that's a future project, guys. That's going to be a big one. But anyways, that being said, we already have one sort of game celebration system, as people could come over here to these stands, which we could probably take this same exact build and do it at the festival for those wooden stands I was talking about, as they can watch horses going racing all over the place down here, and we have big events and all that. Then some sort of like gladiator arena, maybe like a jousting type place. Let me know what other ideas you have. And I think that's definitely a project we could tackle in the future at some point. Fourth question today coming in from Sigmarine 5300. OMG, the Bay would be an amazing next project. I don't know why, but I'm imagining like Marby Quarry-esque vibes with a small village connected by rickety bridges and winches for massive chunks of stone, as well as ships making their way through the cliffs. I'm assuming you're talking about doing a village like hanging off of the cliffs up here of sorts, like along this entire edge. And I don't really know if I want to do that, but you definitely got me thinking about a village out there. I would love to turn this into much more of a quarry looking thing with pathways and maybe some ways for like lifts to be able to get things up and down off of the different levels more easily. But that is definitely an idea I'm thinking of, as I want to clean this up a lot more. And also clean up everything underneath, as that needs to be a lot deeper. But ships going through that space would be so cool to see. The main reason I don't want to do the village along the edge is I'd need to bring it out like 6-7 blocks to have some decent sized buildings. And then that would kind of cover up everything that we use to move it backwards to open up for the boats to be able to move through. and that would kind of defeat the purpose of opening it up for boats to be able to travel through. But there was another comment, actually I saw it a few times, of people saying turn this outer place into a river delta linking into the ocean. I think that could be super fun. And then up on this edge, we could have a village of sorts. Almost as if it's a pit stop coming from the big old ocean. They would be able to stop here, unload some of their goods, or if the ships are too large to make it all the way down, they could stop here and just unload everything and transfer them onto either smaller boats, or we can have roads connecting all the way back. I'm thinking this could be a really fun project idea. I'm definitely going to be writing down some notes to see where it mulls over in my brain if I want to do it soon or not. But we do need to establish roads from the top here of where the people who were making the quarry originally were bringing those stones back to the city. So we would just extend that road a little bit further into a village. And that's probably where everybody who was quarrying the stones out would probably be living anyways, as they'd want to be down by the water for fishing, easy access to food, and all that fancy stuff. With the land routes back home, we could add in some merchant ships and small fishing boats headed along this entire place, even maybe a little something right over there eventually to move into the birch forest zone a little bit better. There's so many ideas, so many builds that we could add to really just flesh out this entire region and just make it so special. That all being said, if we do the village here, as a super future plan, I have been slowly, every time I need birch logs, clearing out the birch forest over here, which I've always wanted to build some sort of a port town on along this entire cliff and maybe a little bit over there. And that's always been an idea I've had. So a little village right over there, slightly out of render distance, connecting into this could also be a cool way to just have that landmark of, hey, this is where more of my builds are. Because from this point, we can't really see anything. If we go here, the castle will eventually load in that's going over the valley of the starter house, linking all that stuff together, but it would be fun for a village out there too. There's so many projects in my brain of things that I want to do inside this world and so many ideas that I have, and I just need to find the time to put it on the schedule to get it done. But you know, oh, I'm out of rockets. That was my last one. I got too excited talking about builds. I wanted to keep zooming. There we go. But yes, all in all, I think eventually we will do something out there. I just need to find what I want to do in that location and how I want to do it. So any build ideas you have for a little coastal fishing village with like a trade port focus to it, let me know down in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. But that's going to do it for today's comment of the day episode here on episode 51. Thank you all so very much for leaving all the lovely comments. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Leave some comments down below for the next one and all that good stuff. But with that, my friends, I'll catch y'all on the flip side.